good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday, May 22nd. Happy Memorial Day weekend, a little bit early. The markets are closed on Monday. And hi, John, how's it going? I do have my YouTube channel up, so if you guys have questions while I am live, go to my YouTube channel. That's a great way, or the Tocker YouTube channel, or Twitch, or Facebook as well. You guys can ask questions there as well. So I just wanted to put my legal disclaimer up that all the information that you see here is for educational purposes. I did have my Series 7 to be a licensed broker 20 years ago. However, it is no longer current. So please do your own due diligence in trading. All trades do include risk, and that the ideas need to be assessed before going forward. And there's varying degrees of risk in all sorts of trading instruments, and no past performance is indicative of future performance. All right, so I did put this slideshow together. If you guys are new to following me or new to following me on Tocker, this is where you can find me. It's AirplaneJane on Twitter. I am on Instagram. YouTube is AirplaneJane. LinkedIn, Jane Galena. Facebook, and you guys can check out my my website as well. And you can always email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Also on Tocker with Jane Galena there. So the big question, right? Do you guys think that the market is manipulated? What do you guys think? I see I've got 7 watching on YouTube. What do you guys think? Do you think the market is manipulated? Anybody? All right, well, the President of the United States definitely believes that the market is manipulated. When you so-called have the rich guys speak negatively about the market, you must always remember that some are betting against it and make a lot of money if it goes down. Then they go positive, get big publicity, and make it go up. They get you both ways. This market is manipulated. And let me tell you, I'm going to teach you how you guys can learn to follow these guys that manipulate it. The algos are written to mess with your head, and that's why in the middle of the day, like right now, it's not the best time to trade. It's really whippy. The algorithms are in control. Best times to get into a day trade after about 9:40, and no longer getting into them after 11 o'clock, because those algorithms are in control. Most of the retail traders are out of the market, and it's going to be your highest success rate getting in and out at that time. All right, so most recent SPY levels. I did put this together for a presentation yesterday, but it got canceled last minute, so you guys are lucky. You guys have all this great content for today. So we have 292.15. I hope you guys can see this. That was a big level. Now these came in yesterday, right? But when did we trade there? We traded there more than 24 hours prior, right? So they have the ability to put their orders out there delayed, right? They get to show their position later, right? So you can see, all right, we had 1 million there. These are all at 292.15. For the most part. This is 297, which was the price that we had coming in yesterday, right? And you can see down here, yeah, this was the close and of the day prior, and we had 1 million there at the close. And so those big levels to really watch right now, 292.15 and 297, 296.99. Those are going to be important levels to watch. Obviously, we have the close from yesterday, which we are below that, if I'm correct. Let me just pull my screen up here. Yes, we are still below, right, by 41 cents. So we are above the 292.15 level, but we are below that 297 level. So I've got the current chart up. This was when I did the slideshow getting ready for yesterday. You know, it was sort of in limbo, but we were still below that 297 and above that 292 level. Well, we went ahead and we tested below it today, right? We went down to 291 pre-market, then we snapped back up. And you can see these moving averages are starting to curl over. We pretty much have a bit of a rounded top right here. Now, let's go back and look at what happened in the past 2 holiday weeks of the year. I'll do that on the chart. I won't spoil it for you guys. Let me show you some more interesting tidbits that I captured for today. So I don't usually look at options, but we have started to see lots of dark pool activity coming in. So I got curious, right? I like to do the research, and I got very, very curious. And I started looking at the VIX. I don't usually look at VIX options, look to see what's out there, but this caught my eye that, hey, somebody placed a trade for 12,500 options at $80 for June 2nd. So we'll go back and I'll look at the chart. You know, the high that we hit at the peak of the low point of the market was roughly 85.50. So I thought, okay, maybe they did some sort of a spread, right? Maybe they did a vertical spread for the calls. Maybe they bought the 80s, and maybe they sold the 85s, and they took the profit on the additional 250 that they sold. The reason why I don't usually look at unusual options activity is because they could be buying, they could be selling, they could be hedging a long position. So it is very personal, I think, to the actual trade that's going on. Now, I didn't look to see if there was a large VXX print in relation to this. So maybe they were hedging a stock position with their option, but these definitely caught my eye going forward. Roughly 10,270 puts for Tuesday, right? That's kind of interesting. That's $20,000 right there. So maybe somebody bought SPY calls at the same time and they're hedging their bet again, but it really piqued my interest. Why on earth is somebody buying 10,000? Or they could be selling at the same time. They could be selling 10,000 calls for Monday, or puts, 10,000 puts for the SPY at 270 on Monday. So that really piqued my interest right there. And you can see later at 10:35, there were the 307 calls and 307 calls again for September 18th. So a bit of a calendar spread there. But then we look forward, and I was looking right around 10 o'clock, 10:15, because obviously these showed up. And then I saw this one. This is a 500,000 position for the 225 puts on June 5th, right? So again, it could be a hedge. I don't know if it was buying or selling. Even though it's red, doesn't necessarily indicate that that person was selling in my book. I know when we see the dark pool prints, it doesn't matter where it happened because it's just a print that we're going to go ahead and note. So looking at this, I was like, well, that's about $500,000, right? And then look at this one that came out, 1,000 for June 19th, $265. So we're looking at $365,000 position right there. And then another one for the 245 put. So maybe they went ahead, they did a vertical put spread here with a cost of, what is that, $19. So maybe $190,000 cost for that spread. So I don't usually look at unusual options, but today my interest was piqued. So let's go ahead and look at the charts, right? So we've got the SPY up here. I love that the lag is gone. Thank you guys. You guys did a great job of fixing that. We've got, give a shout out to Mike and Zach that put together Trader TV. Thank you guys for all your hard work that you do. All right, so I really like to look at the 45-minute chart, right? And we've got a bit of head and shoulder potential, right? We've got a little shoulder here, maybe a little bit of a head, or maybe it's just a rounded top and I'm just reading into it, you know? But we're starting to see that we've got this movement, right? We're to the downside. We closed here, right? We're below that. We closed here, we're below that. But we're not yet below the close over here, right? So that 292 area. So would really look for that confirmation. You know, if we close below 292 today, guys, I feel like this could really be a start of a downturn. I want to go ahead and also look at the daily chart, because this could just sort of blow your minds. It blew mine. I don't know. I just try to look for patterns, you know, math and Fibonacci's. Everything is always about math and patterns. And it does run in the stock market for sure. The algorithms are written off of patterns. They're written off of EMAs, SMAs, everything like that. And I just want to delete these. There we go. Get rid of them really quickly. And so I was trying to find a pattern. I started watching videos about Gann's square of 9, everything like that. And I got curious. Curiosity always lends to education, right? So I thought, hey, let me go back here and let's see what happened. Okay, so the 19th of, better yet, let's go back here, right? We're looking at the downturn. This is our high before we pulled back, January 22nd. So January 22nd, what happened that week? Right? Does anybody remember what happened that week? We had a holiday week. That was Martin Luther King Day, right? Martin Luther King Day happens. We have the 17th, which is the Friday before, and then we have the Monday off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday the 24th of the holiday week. What do? We started a mini correction, right? Let me go in here. Let's do this even a little bit better. Zoom it in for you guys. Right? So here we have that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, middle of the week, Thursday, start to show weakness, Friday, massive downturn, right? All right, so we saw that happen, right? We come back, new highs of the market, and then that brings us to February. Well, February 17th, we have President's Day. 18th is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What happened the Friday of that holiday week? Downturn. What are we coming into this upcoming week? We're coming into another holiday week. Now, if history repeats itself with what we have going on in the market, this could turn out to be very interesting, right? So let's look here. Let's zoom in again, and let's just look right here, right? So we've had this box really of sideways action in the market, and we've got it bounced up to this level, came back down. You can see that there's this purple dotted line as a trend line that came from earlier in the year. And we've just sort of consolidated, you know, in between all of this volume. Yeah, the down days were pretty dramatic down days, yet we couldn't stay below this purple trend line. Again, that is at roughly 280 right now. So I did mention watch that 292 level, because then we're going to have this gap right here, right? Oh, that didn't draw very well at all. Maybe it's better if I do a circle, an ellipse. Let's do that, right? Okay, that didn't work either. Oh, there we go. So you guys can see we've got this gap to fill to the downside. I don't use the circles on here. There we go. So, hey, we break 292, probably a pretty easy trade down to 286. Then we might find some support right there. And I will answer all the questions in a couple minutes, guys, on YouTube. So just a minute on that. So we've got that. And then the big further test for that overall downturn, in my opinion, is really going to be breaking down below this 278 level. Because look at what's happened. We've had all this time frame throughout earnings where we're just sort of going sideways, right? It's been a bit of a tough market to have a directional trade on the indexes, especially on the SPY. The Q is very strong. Apple was doing really well, Microsoft doing really well, Amazon as well pulled up the Qs, and we'll look at the Qs as well. So we've got this right here, and hey, we've hit a couple trend lines. We hit this one, it pulled back, and then it surged above, pulled back again, and we're testing this gray trend line from the top today. And also we have our 4 EMA and our 8 EMA right here. So looking to see really where we close today. I think to the end of next week could be really determining factor for the market. Hey, if we end up bouncing up from here, great. If history repeats itself, we might see that going forward next Thursday or Friday could be a lot of weakness, right? Let me scroll out a little bit as well. And you guys are going to be able to see that, I'll just do this. We've got, I drew this blue trend line right here, blue dotted trend line from these 3 days, right? These 3 days right here created this trend line. And we've gone ahead and we respected it when we pulled back on May 14th. So again, looking for that trend line to break down as well. If computers are programmed to buy off of that trend line, then I would want to go ahead and see that that blue dotted line is going to go ahead and fail as a trend line, right? Okay, let's look at the Qs as well. Oops, am I typing it correctly? So we did go up. We're almost, I talked about it again. Hey, might go up here because of Apple and Microsoft. So we'll be looking at Apple and Microsoft next. You can see Apple was on my short list as well today for potential short. And here we have this little gap that we have. Oh, better yet, I'll do it like this. We have this gap if we break down below the low of this candle right here, which is 225. We've got a nice little gap to the downside down here to fill of 220 down to 223, right? So if we do break down, we break down from the moving average, we could pull back down further down to that 223 range. We are bouncing off of the 4 and the 8 right now to the upside, but let's go ahead and look at those major holdings as well. So we have Apple. Now, this is what I really like about Apple, right? We've been watching it. I've been watching it. We came up, we tested this upper trend line and then tested it on Wednesday. Thursday could not hold above it. And Friday, we had a fairly red morning. It pulled back, right? From the open today, just waiting for that auto to scale. So we were red on it earlier. You can see we had a massive, came down. Oh, I'll move that over to the side a little bit. So we've got more chart, right? So Apple, we were red on the day and it struggled right here. And now we're holding up above. So this could be, you know, anytime that they're going to take it down, they always try to set new highs. Why? Squeezing those shorts in a bear trap, forcing them to cover their short positions to buy the shares that they're selling. They're also going to convince bulls, hey, this market is going great right now, right? The market is definitely being manipulated by the Fed. At the moment, they're buying a lot of mortgage-backed securities. I'll put the link for the most recent Fed minutes in the description below in the video if you guys are curious to read it. And they're saying, yes, there's definitely going to be an economic downturn until at least the third quarter, fourth quarter. And when you look at China, right now, China is dealing with 100% open, but the economy is just not as strong as it was before. So it seems like our economy is definitely in a downturn. However, the Fed is manipulating the market to keep it propped up at the present time. And it seems like there was a Trump tweet, I believe yesterday, that Trump was happy with the Fed, with what they were doing right now. I believe it's part of his goal to keep the market up in order to earn votes for the upcoming election. So we've got Apple, again, that was hitting that trend line, and it has pulled back a little bit. We bounced off of the low right here, looking for it to break down. Again, we are in the middle of the day. It could really turn to the downside. This could be 100% manipulation. Like I said, the algorithms are in control right now, right? So let's look at Microsoft as well. So Microsoft, we've got you know, a bit of a double top here. It couldn't break 186.91. And we have that downtrend line that it has not been able to breach as of yet. We did have higher volume coming in when we came down, touched the 20 SMA down here, and it came back up. And, you know, that could have been longs taking the pullback opportunity to buy the dip, could have been short covering at the same time, and then we went higher, and it hasn't broken out above that high. So looking at it, also with that VXX trade, also saw some large prints coming in on VXX down here, down around this price area right down here. So for now, we're holding above it. You know, if we go ahead and we hold above it, good chance that they will likely be taking the market down. Not saying definite 100%, but there's a very good chance that that could likely happen. Right, so let's look at IWM as well. IWM this morning was the only one to be opening up on the day, and it tends to be the weakest so far of the indexes. It always tends to be the one that's going to curl down first. So I found it very interesting that there was divergence on the indexes coming into the opening, that IWM was the strongest today. You can also see that as we're going up, we are going into a holiday weekend, and we're starting to see descending volume happen. And let's check out the Dow Jones, right, DIA. So, hey, this looks like it's starting to have a bit of a curl to it at the top as well, right? Let's do this, right? So, hey, if we start to break down, we break this 242 level, that could be a nice move right down here, right? We're going to be coming down to that 236, a nice $6 drop. Now, you've also got to realize what's going to happen. You know, these are the indexes. So much like we've got the SPY today, the SPY was down, still down, right? 42 cents. And now some of these are starting to turn green on the day. Middle of the day, I don't trust the price action, like I said. So looking at it, when I was looking at it about half an hour ago, they were all red. So it could be manipulation of the algos to get people in, to go ahead and get those shorts to squeeze out. I did tell you that we could have a big move right here. We've had a lot of prints coming in on the what's the word, financial sector, and they had the mortgage-backed securities thrown into the FOMC minutes that were released on Wednesday. So when we look at all of this, hey, this doesn't look that strong. Again, we had the XLF chart with the holiday distribution box, and right now we're still back in that in limbo phase, right? We dropped down for a minute and then we came back up, and now it's a bit of a downward trend right here, right? Oops, I don't want the line. So we're still in a bit of that downward trend. Okay, I'll just draw it right here. So we're butting up against that trend line. Are we going to break it? Are we going to have higher than normal volume? Stochastics look like potentially. I'm not going to use that as a reason to get into a trade, but that would be my reason as to why I would not go long right away. Because the stochastics look like it's overbought at the moment. It looks like it could potentially be curling down. And we've got this area right here. We did test below. We did have buying volume here. So if we do break below the $21 range, yeah, we'll probably have a test right here of 2029, 2030 area, and then on down to fill the gap if we do down to that 1980 area. So looking at it overall, the market's sort of going sideways to me in the moment. Yes, we're following the trend lines up on the SPY, but seeing that we have the volume really dropping off here, we're starting to curl over. It's not confirmed to me that there's going to be a downward movement. However, looking back in the past for the year, each holiday week has lended to a downturn in the market, which is kind of weird. But if history repeats itself, next week could get very exciting for the bears, not so much for those longs and the new investors that are just getting into it. So if you are a new investor, be nimble, right? Be prepared to go ahead and lock profits potentially, and be prepared to potentially put on your bear hat in the market. All right, let's go over, you can see my list down here too. If you guys are interested, I do have my newsletter which is my daily watch list that I go ahead and I send out, and I review it live every morning on my Ticker Tocker channel. So you're welcome to come over there, check it out, and also have the trades as well. Let me go through and read the questions here. You're following the dark pools, Bruce? Yes. NVIDIA to the downside before market close. Let's go ahead and pull that one up for Eric. Eric, it did have a massive spike. Let's go ahead and pull it up. We shall see, right? It had a nice big move to the upside, and we're testing a double top as well here back from yesterday, and the volume is dropping off. So when you start to see that the price is increasing and the volume is dropping, sometimes there's some manipulation that's going on there. Why is it going up when there's no demand for it, right? Basic thoughts of what's going on with demand, right? If there's not demand and the price is going up, is it being manipulated? So where do you see these? What platform? Bruce, the ones that I showed, like from here, I'll also show you. So basically, when we are trading the dark pool, we're going to say, oh, let's go really quickly. Right here. You want to try to keep it simple, right? The dark pool happens, it breaks above, then you're going to go long or buy the calls. Breaks below, then you're going to sell the stock, go short or buy puts, and you're going to aim for those targets. So you guys are probably wondering, hey, yes, Eric or Bruce is saying, how do we get them? We do get them with Street Smart Edge, and we also get them with Live Vol Pro. But you can also, if you want to learn about trading them, you can go ahead and join us in the training pit. We'll teach you how to do that. An awesome room. That's where I teach. I was teaching today at Mondays and Thursdays. I teach there. We do have 4 different trainers, and we'll teach you all about trading in general, as well as trading around the dark pools. Or if you're already an avid trader, you can sign up for the Stock Whisperer app and go ahead and receive the dark pool prints. But sometimes people get in a little too early. That's the best thing I can say. Wait for that confirmation. And then if you really want to go full force, you can do the dark pool live trading bootcamp, which is 2 weeks. It's 35 hours each week. And it's going on actually right now for the May session of the bootcamp. But the next one is going to be August 3rd and August 17th. And then the final one, coming into the Java pit, that's where we talk about the trades every single day. We share, we say, hey, you know, this stock is breaking this level, keep your eyes on it, looking for profits there. So an amazing room. Since I joined, I haven't looked back, basically, and joined as well as a trainer. It's been awesome to help people. I know maybe some of you, Arky, I don't see anybody's name up there that is in the rooms with us, but it is an awesome place. Okay, so back to NVIDIA, right? Okay. Bruce, did I answer your question there? And Larry, hello, Miss Jane, email, I'm looking forward to it. I'm in Big Smiles, Bakerfield, California. Shout out to you, Larry. All right, Eric, we will see if NVIDIA is going to close to the downside. Let's go ahead and pull it back even on a lower time frame and see where the massive volume came in, right? There was big volume when it broke up here above the high of the day. And then there was big volume as well up here. Let's turn on these and see really quickly. Look right there. Hit that and it sold off, right? And now it came back down here, found support down here, first time, second time. So it looks like it would really need to break that 357.95 area, which is holding as support. We do have, if that does happen, we could have an M scenario, right? So, no, I want the drawing tool right here. Oh, so delayed. And then if it breaks, yes, we could have that downward turn going into the close. But it would really need to break that level right there. So I'll just put an alert right there. Okay. And that would likely draw down the Qs as well, because NVIDIA, I want to say, is like the 8th largest holding in the Qs. So let's look at it really quickly. If that goes ahead and it retraces on the day and the market ends up rejecting this high, let's see, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th down, actually 10th for the 10th largest holding there. ASIF, the best thing is to email. If you guys are curious, the best thing to email is Stephanie at the Stock Whisperer. ASIF is asking, what is the cost of the boot camp? And sometimes I do package deals where you get to go into the Java pit first, but you guys can always go to the dark pools right here, darkpools.com, and then go into the services right here, and it should show you, they've got the Java pit, dark pool insights, lunch with Stephanie, and in the store, you can get into the boot camp right there. So there you go. There's the pricing for you, $34.99 for 2 intense weeks of the boot camp. All right. And so worried due to China and US trade war, it will affect the market. You know what, ASIF? The more that I've been trading the dark pools, the more that I find that the market is just manipulated beyond belief. And it's not so much the news that's going to drive the market, it's really the prints, right? So looking at it for that respect, I find that the prints are going to dictate the move. When you look at a chart of when you look at a stock chart, the candlesticks are not necessarily driven by the news. The candlesticks are driven by the price action and the volume. So those are really going to be what determine it. You know, NVIDIA originally looked like the market didn't like the earnings, right? It came down and it dropped off down here, right at open. And then it really and squeezed all those shorts that thought it was going to be a short trade today. So I don't know what the earnings were. I know that the earnings announcement came out. I don't care whether it was positive or negative earnings. I care how the market is going to react to it. All right. Any other questions out there, Mike? Or I'm sorry, I hope I didn't run into anybody else's time, Mike. You can kick me off if I'm running into somebody else's time on Ticker Talker TV. Do you guys have any questions on your end, Mike or Zach? And any other questions for YouTube? None on your end? Okay, awesome. All right, guys, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Check my Ticker Talker channel out and my newsletter as well, or come on over and join us over at the Dark Pools. You will be thankful that you did. All right, happy Memorial Day weekend, and I will see you all in a week, next Thursday. All right, so I will see you all then. Have a great weekend and be safe.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
The Ticker Talker app brings the powerful trading technology tools of the Ticker Talker desktop platform into the hands of its users who are on the go. Ticker Talker connects novice and advanced traders with industry leaders who are providing real-time trading content throughout market hours every single day. The Ticker Talker app allows traders to follow and get real-time push notifications of trading leaders' trade ideas, all while on the go. Ticker Talker leaders host interactive live trading rooms which provide all-day coverage of their trading ideas and methods seamlessly with social chat for real-time feedback from the expert community of Ticker Talker's powerful user base. Set up and/or subscribe to automated trading strategies to mimic the decisions made by trusted professionals automatically. Powering up your trading AI has never been this easy. We focus on intuitive trading efficiency so you can focus on what matters most in your life. The world's most powerful trading technology is now in the palm of your hands.
I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm a broker and have been one since 1969, and I cover the futures markets, spiders, and ETFs. I do it here on Ticker Talker with 4 different videos a day. And in those videos, I cover the wealth of the futures. So in other words, we're going to do everything from the metal markets, and we'll build charts together like a weatherman as you see it on TV. And I do this, by the way, in all the financial markets as well. And then we have the premier videos. Now, the premier videos, as you know, on Ticker Talker, you get to see them for a certain period of time, and then you decide, do you want to become a subscriber? In those, I'm able to say, buy here, sell there, give you the chart action, why it's occurring, not playing behind algorithms that you never quite understand, and try to make sense of what the markets are doing. So please take a look at the Ira Epstein channel on Ticker Talker. I think you're going to like it. I'm Ira Epstein. Hope to see you.
Placing verified trades in Ticker Talker allows you as a leader to have a verified performance report that gives transparency to your followers of exactly how well they could have done potentially if they were following and copying your trades. To place a verified trade in the Ticker Talker system, all a leader has to do is go to the top part of the platform where the menu icon is located, and then go to the trading part of the application and click on Order Entry. From the Order Entry panel, a leader has the capability to be able to place trades from either the simulator in the platform or a linked broker account, at which point, by checking on the checkbox Share as a Verified Trade, a leader is able to place trades with a full range of order options and then have those trades be tracked through the verified trade system. As those trades are then placed, they will show up in the order book, where a leader will be able to see all of the historical executions that they've received for their trades, both in real time and previously, as well as any errors or any additional criteria that may have happened when those trades were placed. The order book is filterable by broker account and simulator, by date range, and is also updated in real time. The final piece of the verified trade system is the real-time performance tracker, which allows a leader to be able to see in real time the real-time status of all their positions and how they're contributing to their performance. The performance tracker allows a leader to sort by different broker accounts that they've linked to the system, by open and close positions, by automated trading strategies or verified trades. And all of these things are done within this performance tracker in a way where downside risk can be quickly eliminated by checking on and off different positions and then closing them out very, very quickly with the quick close select positions buttons. After a leader has placed verified trades and started generating them, they can then see those performance results and share them publicly through their profile. On a leader's profile, there are interactive calculators that allow users to evaluate what following that leader would have looked like. Opening up one of those calculators will show exactly how the performance would have been, as well as a breakdown of capital inflows and outflows into the account, as well as any changes to leverage that may have occurred. And finally, by clicking on the Download Performance Statistics button, an investor can take a look at a real breakdown of exactly which orders were placed by that leader and how they affected the performance of that leader at the end of their verified trade balance. So any capital inflows and outflows that may have occurred are also shown in this report, giving an investor a real overview as to exactly what capital inflows and outflows resulted in what was happening in that account. On a leader's profile, investors can see a chart of exactly how well that leader was doing over time, as well as the capital that was put at risk. And finally, if a leader wants to go ahead and change in their account any of the account funding principles, so add or remove to their capital balances that I was showing you before, they can go into the broker account settings, click on Manage, and then under the settings for each broker account or the simulator, they can add or remove capital to their tracked allocated verified trade balance by entering it in through the settings. Now, obviously, if you make higher returns with a lesser balance, so you make more money with less, your percentage will be higher. Whereas if you use more capital to generate the same returns, your percentage will be lower. And all of these things are tracked within the Tocker verified trade system.
Placing verified trades is available on our mobile application as well if you are a leader in the Tocker platform. All you have to do to place verified trades on the Tocker mobile app is to go to Trade, then to choose either a limit or a market